Gemini, welcome back. We are here to do your zodiac signs read for Venus retrograde, and ironically about the astrological aspects of what's coming. Now, for you guys, Saturn currently is retrograding in your ninth house, which is a deeply spiritual energy. And also to balance that energy, it does link in with religion, education, foreign countries, and travel, which is very Mercury-orientated energy, as well as your belief systems can deeply transform during that. You'll also, to balance that, communication is definitely the key. So, utilizing your third house. Let me have a look. Okay. Using your energy. So the third house for you is Leo. So utilizing your energy of strength and utilizing your sun energy theoretically to shine light on situations and actually deal with it. Hi, Dale. How are you? So with Saturn retrograding in Aquarius, we're also going to have on the 25th, we're going to have Pluto going retrograde during the shadow aspect of Venus retrograde. That is your 8th house. So again, it's the house of the non-codependent. So it's the things you can directly, depend on. It could be medical insurance. It could be your insurance policies, your savings and things to that degree. Again, reflecting back on what those things are. And it can also be from a business perspective. What the safety measures are, the things that you can tweak and change about. Because again, when we look at Venus, I'm glad. When we look at Venus, it's not just the romantic attributes. It's our finances. It's the people we share our time with. It's our value systems. It's our romantic house. And again, with Mercury currently in Aries, as we're moving through, up until the 27th, it then shifts into Taurus. Around these times, what you're going to see is we did in March have the new moon in Aries. And because Chiron is in Aries, your Chiron placement for the next 8 years is the 11th house. So it's all the things in your pastimes you like to do, it's shifting. And it does make sense because, it's the humanitarian kind of energy coming through, which again, the energy of Saturn and Aquarius is very much to do with the wider group. And it's, what can we do to serve, the energy of the collective? What can we do to shift things potentially in your career? You might want to be looking at things and going, okay, how do I fine tune this? So if you've got a creative venture and it is linking with technology and, your zodiac sign is a deeply social sign. It also uses its communication in a very unique manner. And as I've mentioned, most of our communication is by body language. It's also deeply intuitive, and it definitely, from your perspective, you have it as a fine art. Synchronistically, I feel for business ventures and work for you guys, it's going to tap into those energies, and you're going to really learn new ways within your own self of how to optimize that. So even if you currently are not employed, it is a perfect time to be meditating upon what the light, the dark, and the shadow energy is, and learn from that energy and then look at it and journal. Also, what you will find is with Gemini frequency, it can be an overload of information. So you guys are great at many things, but to actually move it, because we're going to have the nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius, it's about alchemizing that energy. So it's very important to journal. So, i.e., you got all these magic ideas coming to you, but you can accidentally get sidetracked because it's very busy Mercury energy. So to actually get the best out of your zodiac sign, you guys would have been working on this for a while through your lifetime. In a return energy, it's a new way of doing it. And because the Sagittarius energy links to Jupiter, at a collective level, because we have had the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, we're fine-tuning the way we're doing things. So we had 2.5 years worth of that energy. During Venus retrograde, we're cycling that energy out and moving into the nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius. So it will be like 4 energies going on, as well as Venus retrograde, as well as Saturn retrograde, as well as Pluto retrograde. So what does that mean? Quality systems galore, looking at things, fine-tuning them. What have we learned? Yes, at times that can be hard work. but definitely writing down the themes that are coming through to you. Now, Saturn and Aquarius will be in your 9th house in 2021. So it's revisiting that cycle. And again, it can be heavy during this time, but it's going to give you slight themes and undertones of where maybe the trends are going to go. So especially when it comes to love, business, who the new version of you is, what your new value systems are through this creative process, it's going to be giving you ideas. So again, it's very important to document those hunches down because they're going to be key roles that you're going to play moving forward into 2021. So for you guys, yes, Venus happens to be in your 1st house. So I feel you guys energetically will be looking at it from your own perspective. I feel you'll also be assessing how you react to situations. And again, looking into the 11th house, you might have held betrayals through friends. Friends might have hurt you. You might have hurt them, and there can be unresolved things coming up to the forefront. Some of your hobbies and the things you liked doing, again, very Venus energy, they may change all of a sudden, and they can come back to actually be looked at, especially through the Hermit energy. For those of us that are in that frequency, you may find all of a sudden you pick up where you left off and you start pouring your energy into it, and it rejigs you and reconnects you back into self. But I do feel even old connections where you had falling outs with and hobbies, they can come back to the table to be revisited. That will be there in your mindset for 8 years because it's your placement in the energy. So potentially if you're moving towards something, it's where you may have received wounds in the past. So the reason it's in Aries so long is because we energetically tend to have more work in that house, but it's an empowerment house. It is a Mars energy house. So, you know, from that perspective, it gives us a different amplification and way to deal with it. With Venus being in your 1st house again, although things in the past might have hurt you, I do feel it's more you taking direct action, you looking at things, but it doesn't mean to say that people aren't going to be reaching out to you. So be it you're in a relationship or you're thinking about somebody, these people can come back to the table. Now, some people tend to get a bit scared of Venus retrograde and think somehow bloody technology. I love you, Mercury. Working better now? Or is it being mean to me? I do feel it's the location. Is it any better now? Close some windows down. And hopefully it will work better. I've got astrology windows open. Okay, let's see how it goes. So you're going to have, now with Neptune energy, squaring aspects made to Venus can cause some complications. So generally in the beginning part, you end up having kind of rose-colored glasses. So you're going in and you're going, oh my God, I'm really happy this is happening. Gosh, this was a dream. This was a hope. You're very rose-colored glass energy. But because of the aspects that Neptune's making to Venus in Gemini, your 1st sign, your 1st house, you're seeing things more clearly. So it seems to be doing a different thing to what it usually does. We're being very disconcerting when we're looking at things. We're being very cautious. We're very intuitive during this process. Plus, because some of us are in hermit mode energy, you tend to be more unable to use the old techniques of dealing with these situations. So it's a unique way in which we're dealing with our finances, which again is very Venus. The things we buy, the luxuries, for instance, again, with the new moon in Taurus, it's going to ask us to re-question those areas. And uniquely, that does fall in your 12th house. And we deem the 12th house as the house of the undoing. It's more from your mind or from your psychology. And it's also what's hidden inside you. So you feeling energetically that you're wanting to go down a certain way, it's very twin energy when you look at it. It's very non-codependent. It's, oh, this feels good. Hunch, okay, I'll go do this. So it's really honing it in and going into evaluation mode, but not jumping. Not, you know, not treading where angels fear to tread, that sort of energy. So it's caution in that frequency. Yeah. So, you know, with the sun energy, it's more where we directly act, whereas the moon energy is where we feel. So it's doing things differently. So all of a sudden it could be, hey, I've changed my mind, sorry. And then you want to go back and visit that. So it's asking you to sit with that and tune into why, and look at it from a different perspective. But something can come at left field. So I'm going to pull the cards for the beginning, the middle, and the end. Also, do be mindful that in May, we're going to have the nodes shift. So it's going to hit your first house. It'll be a new way you need to deal with things. Oh, yeah. Food for thought, guys. During any sudden Pluto conjunction, World War I, World War II, 9/11, you do tend to get, in the baby boomer era, right, that tends to come through. Look where people potentially are, lockdown energy. So if you are with your beloved and you are not wanting that, do be careful because it can happen. Is it buffering again? It's better, is it? I told you, it's my crown chakra. It affects it. Okay, so, some extra energies are coming through. So I'm going to show you the crowning energy. All your dreams of what didn't come through are going to be up in your grill. You got the star reversed. That was the card that fell out. So I will put clarifiers on it. You could feel nothing's ever going to happen. Right, it's done, it's not happening. There is going to be a 360. Again, your value system, your beliefs, a lot of times when you manifest, it's in detachment. And I do feel detachment of the outcome, or maybe your belief system that this is going to be horrible. It's all going to be doom and gloom. You're just detached. I feel it's more you're detached, you're understanding, you're changing, you're moving into it, and you're in retrograde motion where you're going to have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Let's see what's coming up. Anything that, and I feel it's more the subconscious mind. The burdens are tuning into that of what was. Wherever you're feeling blocked, I feel solutions are going to come, but you're more in the fluid energy of detachment. But again, if you're tuning into your finances, your career sector, the things you like, and some of that power is out of your control, I feel you're more fluid in that energy, knowing it's going to transform, and you're being patient. Romantically speaking, somebody that romantically you can be connected in with or thinking about may have things on their plate that for you, back by when, might have felt too overwhelming. Something that had been on your chest as well, I am seeing that coming to the forefront and communication and conversations occurring. So if you're in a current connection, I do feel you guys are either working too hard. It's either spiritually, emotionally, or direct physically if you're an essential worker. And with the Two of Pentacles, I feel more intuitively, you guys are looking at creative solutions and ways you can actually make these breakthroughs. But you're fluid with it. You're like, okay, the past is the past, yes. But it's almost like looking at how you can correct it. But you're not pushing it. You're trying to grasp the concept of why these blockages are there. But there's also an energy during the first part of shadow into retrograde motion that I do feel you might feel a bit overwhelmed and moving into the energy of making a decision. Now, if you're in a relationship and there's an issue, it's interesting because we've got the Judge energy. Libra in Juno will be going direct in May during the Venus retrograde cycle. And again, as I mentioned, it's in your 5th house of romance, children, luck. So again, because it's going direct, you may have some new findings. If you've been waiting on something to be balanced out, it could be coming to the forefront where you get some blessings. So there can be blessings also during Venus retrograde where it's a reversal of luck, so to speak. So blessings are going to come back to you to balance out. And it is, it's a blessing. So this is a positive thing. It's going to be very authentic, very truthful. This can be very blunt communication as well. So if you're wanting to say something and it's really been on your chest, I feel even with the energy of Mercury currently in Aries, then it transitioning over into Taurus, this quality system going on in your mind about what is, what isn't, and how you feel about that. Then we're going to have Mercury moving again into Gemini. And that is on the 11th of May during Venus retrograde. So for you guys, again, it's your first house. So your throat chakra is going to be activated. Pre-warned, forearmed. Careful with your crown chakra during this time, because I do feel during the middle pocket of it, it can be where you guys are getting it. Again, if you're overburdened and there's things going on and you're really busy, you're really in that Mercury energy, I feel there can be some things that slip through the cracks, but I do feel anything that's been delayed, it's going to come back to the forefront. And I'm also feeling deeply frustrated energy. And it can be like getting your knickers in a twist because people are needing on you, wanting on you, too much going on. And it feels busy energy. So I'm really tuning into busy energy. So whatever is going on in your mind, it may be you're torn in two directions. Do you stay? Do you go? Hi, Dale. And just how to deal with whatever is playing out during the middle cycle of Venus retrograde. Again, it's a shift in value systems. It's a shift in mindset. It can even be your finances where you're trying to directly address them. Some of you also might be working in a job that suddenly you do a 360 and you're like, even though we're in this energy, you just can't directly relate. The solution to that, again, is journaling. So, write down the things that your passions are filling. And it's a lighter way to deal with heavy energy. So if you're feeling burdened and you don't like the career sector you're in, to take the pressure off yourself, your auric field, your chakra system, your trigger energy, keep grounded, hold space for self at the end of the day, wash the energy off you and then document what you want to put that energy into, instead of feeling semi-spiritually imprisoned. Because when you feel you're putting anything down on paper, direct action, what the steps would be it you're putting an extra away, you get my gist. It takes your power back and it balances your lower chakras. So if you feel something's out of balance in any shape and form, taking a little bit of time for self, not rushing it, not fully committing full throttle, to meditate upon it, because you've got value in reverse. So it's like value systems off point, maybe two people's perspectives, maybe the way you're moving into a situation, you're not completely sold on it. So it's assessment time. It's sit in the energy. Don't put pressure on yourself. Other people might be. That's their issue. It's get back to self, ground yourself. You have power as well as others. So it's, tuning into it, what you want to do, creating healthy boundaries and saying, look, just give me some time. I need to assess this. But I do feel more spiritual energy. At the end pocket, you have the Seven of Cups. Very Neptunian energy. Let me have a look again. Let's see. Neptune in your 10th house. Okay, so again, career's coming up. Now, this doesn't have to just be career. Again, I am feeling your career does hold a lot of luck around it. Even if you're not currently seeing it, I do feel you guys, with the node shifting, it's a bit like a glam makeover. It's like things are going to be changing. Again, it's not completely advised. I mean, Antonella cut her hair the other day. I mean, I should have got to her sooner, but hey, it is what it is. Hair grows back. But more permanent decisions during a Venus retrograde. It's almost like Mercury retrograde. I mean, your sign is Mercury, so you guys know this to the core. You don't want to have buyer's remorse. It's like, I'll just sign on the dotted line for a 10-month contract, and before you know it, you're kind of stuck there a little bit longer. Or you dye your hair purple, and then the next, Venus goes direct, and you're like, heck, I'm going into sales now, and I've got purple hair. I'm not saying that that's bad. It's an example. So there's this meditation process coming through with you guys. And, you're wondering if you're delusional. You got a hunch. And these leaps of faith we're going to move into, even if we're experiencing a vibration during Venus retrograde, it's actually looking to be quite beneficial because, all manifestation directly comes through thinking, feeling, a hunch, Creative ventures. 7 is very spiritual. 7 is linked in with money and finances. Your career sector is linked in this area too. So in the end cycle, again, we're going to have the full moon in Sagittarius, and it's going to be a lunar eclipse on the 5th of June, kicking off in the house of Sagittarius, which is marriages, contracts, partnerships for you guys. So again, anything you're directly linking into, it's going to shift and change. So this can be, if you do a lot of work during this cycle over the next 6 weeks and you get hunches, document them, take a step towards it, move in towards it. You might be hearing from people from the past that can network for you. Touch base, tune into what it is. Don't fully commit. Use it in a manifestation sense and feel things out, because I am seeing jumps and leaps forward in all areas, especially at a romantic level. Some of you may be feeling also how this is all going to come together. Let me clarify. I feel you got blessings coming, but I just don't feel you guys are expecting it. It feels very, very positive. Yeah, money from the past is going to come through. So if you're tuning into ways of creating it, yes, it is. Romantically speaking, caution, because you're going to become very popular. I'm saying with the 7 energies, it could cause some confusion, because it may not just be one person who's interested in you, which, cycling it in on who you are, what you want, how you feel, will kind of reduce it down. And maybe you're looking at that, and I'm really seeing for Gemini, there can be various people from the past and current tense. Even if you're in a relationship, all of a sudden you hear from someone from the past and it feels very confusing. You're like, why is this coming up all of a sudden? It's not that I feel you're crossing the boundaries or anything to that degree, but I do feel people are really seeking you out. They see the value in you. Again, a reversal of fortune. Any questions? Yeah, there is a person, bottom of the deck, that will not let you go. They're coming back. They're coming back. So I've got good energy around your career. Why? I don't know. I've just got good energy around your career. Feels like you guys are going to make a big break. I'm also seeing contracts kind of tying up as well. Any questions for those of you in the house if it hasn't cut out and it's lagging? We have had about 3 days of, processing time for videos. So some people are moving into, obviously, people are working from home. So the internet energy, everyone's on the internet. I don't think we need to worry about, lack of contact. Any questions while I'm here? How many more do I have? 1, 2, 3. What do you want to know? Anything you want to know. We've got 6 left. What would you like to know? Hit me with it. Who's coming towards us this week, if anyone? I'm actually seeing, in the energy of career, I do feel where many of you have been underestimating yourself and almost given up. I feel notation is coming towards you guys. So I feel a bit of a surprising turn of events. I do feel travel as well. Although we're not currently having travel energy, can be for many contracts abroad, contracts elsewhere. But I'm definitely seeing a bit of fame energy around you guys. I'm also seeing an energy that was at a distance. Now, this distant energy, this may have been your energy or theirs, but it feels, again, I'm seeing travel linking in, like almost missing paths, but definitely from, a work domain or something you've been doing. There's going to be accreditation given to you in some shape or form. I feel more towards the middle to the end, though, but definitely luck in your kind of spare is coming. I'm also feeling a male energy, someone from the past that you haven't heard from as well. Yeah. They may have lost somebody a while ago. Like, I'm not talking connected to what's going on now, but I do feel this is also someone who lost someone, like a brother, but it's male energy. It feels like a male energy. Yeah. Their energy is around you. So if you knew them for a long time, however it was sort of like, I don't know, it feels tragic the way they'd passed, like it wasn't expected. They went on a bit of a soul journey. It's like 12 years in Tibet sort of energy. But it was a spiritual transformation they went through, and they do feel very spiritual energies in general and might be optimistic, but they were very silent. Yeah, I feel that's transformed, but that person's energy who passed over, it does feel around you for some reason. Yeah. It also feels you had compassion for that, like you got it, but it's, yeah, if you relate to what I'm saying, because my guides show me what they show me, I'm not meant to understand. So who was this person? How did they, it feels like tragic how it happened. It was very, I sort of feel it was shocking. It did change the other person as well, the person who I see coming towards you. Definitely changed them. Joy of internet being slow. I've opened the windows up so I've got a nice green view now because I need to be connected to nature to tune. Makes me feel antsy, otherwise I feel boxed in like I'm in a wardrobe. Yes. Any other questions while I'm here? Very warm welcome to anyone that's hitting on this video and new. Again, I am hosting a Facebook event because I like to touch base with all platforms. And again, I thank YouTube for this platform. It's fantastic. But I am hosting an event. So if you want information, jump on the website. The tickets are there. And each month I'm going to be hosting an event both here and both on, Facebook, and try and connect with Instagram. Hello. Anyhow, I'm going to have a bit of a break. See how I go energy-wise. How many have I got? Aries, Virgo, Sagittarius. What zodiac signs do we have in the house? Try and plod through. People are going to be going to sleep soon, surely, right? Good old Perth, WA. I shall come back shortly. I'm going to have a little bit of a break and I'll come back and I'll continue on. And then if you're awake later, the videos will be here. Capricorn, let me have a little bit of a break and I'll be back and we'll get on to Capricorn. Seen as whoever's here at the end of the video, whoever asks first, they get there. So we will be doing the earth signs. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. And then I do have the event Friday on Facebook. So first thing in the morning, if I do wake up at 4 in the morning sometimes, so there's a potential I could be here to finalise these. Otherwise, as soon as I've finished that, I will be back to do the rest. Otherwise, you never know. Persevere through, right? And every time I go to log out of here, I look blank-faced and it's leaving, but it's not letting me go. So if I look daft, forgive me. Technology.